The Rings of Power Season 1 was a complete and utter insult to Tolkien's legacy and the amazing works that he created throughout his lifetime. But now, instead of trying to right their wrongs and fix their mistakes, they are doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down because Amazon is casting Gavi Singh Chera to portray Sauron's original form, leading to another race swap within this series. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or through YouTube memberships. Now, I have had to talk a lot about Rings of Power Season 1 and all of the changes they made, all of the departures they made from source material, and realistically, if they had simply followed most of the source material and there were only very slight changes made, people would have been extremely happy. We have been asking for so long for another piece of Lord of the Rings based content. They could have simply done the same general time period but stuck to source material and people would have been so happy. But then they decided to make every change under the sun that they could, and now we are finding out that it appears, at least, that they are race swapping Sauron's original form, Annatar. So, this is a Bounding into Comics article in seemingly confirming that the studio has learned nothing from the backlash to their disrespecting of Tolkien's iconic novels. The latest whispers among the Shire suggest that Amazon's cast is budding and the actor Gavi Singh Chera to portray the villain's original form in the upcoming second season of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power. Now, this was only just recently posted to Fellowship of Fans, so of course this at this point is a rumor, take it with a grain of salt, but they have gotten exclusive sneak peeks at information in the past. They have gotten exclusive teaser images before, and they are saying this is an exclusive tidbit of information they were given from Amazon. So I believe it. I am sure a lot of you believe it, judging by their track record, and it does appear that this is the actor that they have chosen, meaning it is another race swap. So, it says, according to the outlet's chief editor, the universally unwanted second season of it will see the undeclared war and the Mother Teresa and Me actor play the original form version of the character, which is meant to be angelic and ethereal per sources. Now, we do not know 100% with certainty that this is going to be Annatar, but I mean, we at least know that Annatar is going to be in this season, at least for some flashbacks. We do know that that is confirmed at this point. So one would deduce, if they are showing Sauron's, original form, angelic, it's going to be Annatar. And of course, this is going to be such an infuriating moment for so many Tolkien fans out there, just because it is such a drastic departure from what we have always imagined Annatar to look like. Now, it is very important to point out that we never got a fully fledged physical description from Tolkien on what this form of Sauron would look like. We do not have a fully fledged description of what Annatar looked like, but darker skinned, characters in his world didn't fully exist until we got the Rings of Power. Therefore, yeah, you kind of have to throw that out the window because that was not canon, and the only descriptions that we ever got of him or comparisons to other characters was that he was of great body strength and supremely royal in demeanor and countenance, and that he was supposed to be fitting in with elves. So he was supposed to look like many other elves at the time, which would deduce he would look like Thranduil in general appearance, because these are also ways that Thranduil has been described before. So of course this was basically a fresh slate, a clear slate for the creatives of the Rings of Power. But again, we did not have darker skinned elves or just a lot of characters in Tolkien's universe in general before the Rings of Power, so of course they were going to take a character like this and basically do anything they felt like, and well, this is why we have now gotten an Indian actor cast for this role. And the only two times that Annatar has been depicted outside of the novels, making appearances in both Shadow of War and the Lord of the Rings Online, Shadows of Angmar, he has been depicted with aptly fair white skin. Yes, one time he had black hair, one time he had white hair. Most people assume that if they are going to depict him, he's going to have the silver hair, but yes, he has been depicted with white skin, so this is kind of what everybody expects him to look like. And as I mentioned, he's never, been officially described by Tolkien, but he took an extremely fair, or as described, the fairest form that he could have conjured. We know that they'll slap a cheap silver wig on him and say, he's close enough, but it's never going to be close enough. This actor just does not fit the description of Annatar. And of course, this has happened many times in Rings of Power. Even though we've only got one season, they really did the most when it came to casting the, worst actors possible, not because of their acting skills, but because they simply do not fit into the physical description. And it appears that Fellowship of Fans cannot allow anybody to criticize this actor. Of course, this is what happens when Amazon shills get these exclusives and are allowed to post them to their social media, because they are silencing a ton of people. As you can see, here is the hidden replies button, and you will very quickly learn that they are not allowing anybody to criticize this. We're not even allowed to put something like, no, how can we do worse than season 1? Amazon, hold my beer. All of these comments are being hidden, and we're not just talking like 2 or 3 comments from, spammers or, NSFW posts. I mean, we are just talking literally anybody criticizing, even some people saying just cancel this and be done with the charade. Like, nothing that is even pointed towards this actor specifically, nothing that is, attacking him. I mean, again, I'm not sitting here and attacking his acting skills. He may be a fantastic actor. He has not been in anything that I have personally heard of or seen, but you are not even allowed to sit here and attempt to criticize this actor or, who they have picked in the direction that they're going in with season 2. And we all figured season 2 was going to be a nightmare, just judging by things like this. Prime Video announces all-female directing team for the Rings of Power season 2 instead of picking people who have love for Tolkien's work, who are dedicated to making the best experiences for fans possible. They decided to double and triple down on the DEI and go, yes, what can we do? We can hire an all-female directing team. I'm not saying that there should be no females on the directing team, because there are some absolutely amazing female creatives out there. But at the same time, if this is what you're focused on, instead of listening to people's criticisms from season 1 and trying to fix those, mistakes that you made and trying to make people happy, but this is what you're focusing on, yeah, I'm sorry, you're not going to get much of a bigger audience for season 2 than you did with season 1, and most people hated it. I mean, of course, the critic score was pretty good in 83%. I do not trust critics most of the time. I would not, look at a critic score and go, wow, I'm going to trust what they're saying and see or not see a piece of content because the critics say to or say not to. especially in this case, because they basically said, if you're criticizing this, you're just a racist, sexist, bigot, phobe, is that, I mean, everything under the sun. But audiences did not like it. It is sitting at a measly 38% average audience score, which is hilariously bad for a show that has at this point cost them $1 billion for, the rights, season 1 and the beginnings of season 2. And we don't even know what the cost of season 2 is going to be. You'd think that they would have wanted to go into this and try to make it an experience that Tolkien fans would love and appreciate and really enjoy, but that is not what we are getting here. They do not seem to care. They have doubled, tripled, quadrupled down, and they have now picked an actor to, it seems, seemingly play another race swapped character of one of the most important characters that they had to portray in this series. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.